What puts Namibia slightly ahead of our competition? Certainly, from the point of view, we're a stable economy. We have a stable 33-year-old democracy. From a legal point of view, it is a very predictive legal regime. All of the basic building blocks that international investors, but also conservative investors might look for, is present in this market or in this country. With all of its opportunities and the variety and the diversity of investment opportunities, this is the best place for you to put your money. Well, mining and resources, of course, continues to do well. And although we work with a number of foreign investors to explore further and develop mines, we also focus on value addition domestically. So developing the secondary economy has become very important for us, and it's really one of our key areas that we focus on in terms of investment promotion. The oil and gas sector, together with renewables generally, playing a large and increasingly important role in our economy. We have an incredible natural endowment in terms of wind and of course sunlight. So Namibia rates as one of the top 3 countries in terms of wind and solar quality, making it a great place to produce cheap electricity, really. The second is, as a government, we've decided to embark on the journey of developing a domestic green hydrogen industry. We've made several strides towards that already. And really in this area, we see a lot of potential benefit for Namibians, and also where investors can get involved in. Yes, aside from the primary industries that there's of course a huge focus on, the service sector is also worth noting. So Namibia's largest service sector is the tourism industry, and of course Namibia, the beautiful country that it is, attracts now almost 1 million tourists every year. As an IPA, the NIPDB provides a number of services, in particular to facilitate investors arriving new to Namibia. So they don't know the environment, they don't perhaps know the processes and the systems, and Namibia is a country of systems, processes and institutions. It's certainly a place where that discipline drives investment for us. That kind of hand-holding process is really key to how we serve and we support investment into Namibia.
Unique, firstly, not only in an African context, but in a global context. And really the foresight and the vision of His Excellency our President is to ensure that entrepreneurs and small businesses benefit from large-scale investors. The downstream opportunities, the value chain opportunities for these entrepreneurs, whether that be in logistics, in catering, in any sector, that's the foresight of merging an MSME mandate with that of an IPA. When we think of smart partnerships, we think of how do entrepreneurs work hand in hand with corporate Namibia. We have development partners in country. We have various offices, ministries, agencies that have their own focal areas. And it's really through synergistic approaches that we can ensure that entrepreneurs are not only upskilled, but that they benefit from these capacitation opportunities. I think the most recent example that we can think of is that of a collaboration with Coca-Cola Beverages Namibia. I think another notable one would be the World Bank Group, where we said, how do we ensure that entrepreneurs go through an Innovation Bridge portal, which is a World Bank exercise, and through that journey of learning how to better market their business, how to better business plan, how to ensure that they can really have a wider reach. There were closer to 100 entrepreneurs that went through this initiative, and now they're plugged into our high potential pool. And so the high potential pool is where we would handpick entrepreneurs to matchmake them with large investors. So there are a number of success stories. We're really excited about the progression of some of these entrepreneurs. And again, the capacity building journey is not a once-off conversation. It's a multitude of various service providers adding value to ensure that the entrepreneurs are well equipped to serve large investors in country.
We've got 10,000 graduates that goes into the labor market, but nobody can absorb them. And so what we can say is that Namibia, actually with a young demographic dividend, our graduates have a foundation. Whether it is a foundation for economics, for IT, there is a foundation. And therefore, reskilling, upskilling becomes more viable for us as a country. And so we also are venturing into the 4IR, and we have commissioned a study, and it is completed. So there is actually an opportunity for investors, for example, to set up a 4IR technology hub in Namibia. And so for us, what is appealing at the moment is that the reskilling and upskilling of our graduate is much more easier, because you don't need to start from scratch. They already have a degree. And I think that is what we are selling to the world, to say that, look, our young demographic dividend is equipped with a certain level of knowledge. We do acknowledge that they do not have the experience or the expertise, and therefore there is a catchment area that is available for an uptake by investors.
And it's indeed a very, very competitive world out there. But there's also something that I think that sometimes there's a good timing, and things that happen, you happen to be at the right place at the right time. And I think this is the time for Namibia. Recently, our First Lady was asked the question, why Namibia? And she had like 1 second. And she said, why Namibia is because Namibia will double our growth, our GDP, we will double it in the next 10 years. Not many countries can say that. We need to diversify our economy. And especially at the time when we have got natural resources that are generating revenues for us, we need to make sure that we use that revenue to generate, or rather to build other sectors that will be able to help us to sustain the economy. So as NIPDB, we were created with a focus to make sure that we support Namibia's growth in terms of a private sector led. How do we make sure that the private sector is enabled and is supported and is coordinated by government to help them to contribute to economic development? So government is busy with reforms. We have seen the reforms that are coming through from the Bank of Namibia, many reforms that are coming through from many public enterprises, and then of course the role of the private sector that we are seeing government coming through. So therefore the president has definitely come up with a definite plan, and he has put together a team and various institutions. Namibia has got a separate between our judiciary, our legislative, and our executive. And that is very good for the private sector, because they say capital, if it is not comfortable and it's not safe, it will flee. But in Namibia, when you bring in your capital as an investor, it's protected. Whether it is through availability of currency that is convertible for you to take back your money, whether it's owning your company according to 100% if that is what you need, whatever it is that you as an investor come, you have got the freedom, the peace, the stability to make sure that your investment is protected in Namibia. So there is many reforms that have taken place, and yes, we know that there is still a few gaps in terms of policy. There is quite a number of laws that we will see coming through in the next 6 months, because we have been working on them for the past 12 months. I think what is the decision of our president and our government currently is that we want to create a friendly environment for business to thrive, to create jobs that will bring about inclusive growth. And I think that is what is critical. So beside everything that I have said now, of course, the fact that Namibia is going to grow double in the next few years. So Namibia, like I said, is a friendly country, it's a welcoming country. So look at this one, huge spaces in a safe country, 824,000 square kilometers with 2.6 million people. Now, many people look at that one and they say, no, the market is small, but guess what? You've got access to the market of Namibia being a member of SACU, where it means if you invest in Namibia, to our neighboring countries that we have, which are members of SACU, you can sell us if you are selling in Namibia. And then you are part of SADC, and you are part of Africa with the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. So the geographic location of Namibia, the space of Namibia, the people of Namibia, the structure of Namibia everything that comes into place makes Namibia the definite place and for it to be a center of your operations in Africa.